Imagine discovering a world where stories of faith, courage, and miraculous events lie hidden, untouched by many. Today, we are venturing into this forbidden territory as we explore the books of the Maccabees, ancient texts rich with gripping tales of devotion and resilience against unimaginable odds. These books, often excluded from many Christian Bibles, hold powerful accounts of divine intervention and heroic stands, tales that might just challenge what you think you know about biblical history. What secrets do these pages reveal? Why were these stories, full of defiance and unbreakable faith, considered too controversial to be widely shared? If you're as fascinated as we are by these hidden pieces of biblical history, take a moment to like this video and subscribe to *The Bible Stories for You*, where ancient wisdom meets modern insights. Here, we uncover forgotten stories, offer in-depth biblical knowledge, and explore the deeper layers of faith and spirituality. By joining our community, you'll be part of a journey that reveals the profound power these ancient narratives still hold for us today. The saga of the Maccabees begins not just as a story of war but as a battle for the soul of a nation. Picture this, it's the 2nd century BCE and the Jewish people face an empire determined to erase their faith, replacing it with Hellenistic ideals and pagan worship. The ruthless Seleucid Empire, led by King Antiochus IV Epiphanes, desecrated the sacred temple in Jerusalem, compelling Jews to sacrifice to foreign gods. But, just as Daniel stood before King Nebuchadnezzar and refused to bow, so did the Jewish people in Maccabees refuse to surrender. This moment, this choice, echoes across time as a stand for faith itself. And it all began with a single act of defiance by a priest named Mattathias. When ordered to sacrifice to a pagan god, Mattathias didn't just refuse, he struck down the royal official enforcing the decree. This act sparked a full-scale rebellion, mirroring the zeal of biblical heroes like Phinehas, who acted to defend God's holiness. Upon Mattathias' death, leadership passed to his son, Judas Maccabeus, the Hammer. Against overwhelming odds, Judas led a small band of warriors who defied the might of the Seleucid armies, and each victory seemed nothing short of miraculous. Much like Gideon's triumph with a few against many, Judas' successes hinted at a divine hand guiding them to victory. But what set these battles apart wasn't just strategy, it was the faith that inspired them. Before each clash, Judas and his men would look to the heavens, placing their trust in God alone. In one famous instance, when faced with a vast enemy force, Judas urged his followers, "Let us not fear their numbers but trust in the Lord." And, incredibly, they prevailed, reclaiming their homeland. Yet the story intensifies in the 2nd book of Maccabees, where faith faces its ultimate test, martyrdom. In this volume, we witness the harrowing tale of a mother who watched all 7 of her sons embrace death rather than deny their beliefs. This mother's strength, like that of Hannah in 1 Samuel, embodied unwavering faith in God's promises even in the face of agony. She encouraged her sons to stand firm, believing they'd be resurrected and rewarded for their sacrifices. This early Jewish belief in resurrection not only resonates with Pharisaic teachings but foreshadows the Christian faith, where resurrection becomes a central tenet. These martyrs believed in a justice beyond this life, a hope that their suffering would be redeemed. And then, the battlefield miracles return, as in the Battle of Betzer. Just when defeat seemed inevitable, 5 radiant figures on horseback, angelic beings, appeared, defending Judas and his warriors. It's a scene that recalls the prophet Elisha in Kings, when his servants' eyes were opened to see the heavenly army surrounding them. In the Maccabean narrative, these angels not only shielded the Jewish fighters but ensured victory, illustrating that when faith and righteousness are at stake, divine forces intervene. But the wonders don't end here. At a critical moment, Judas received a vision of the prophet Jeremiah, who presented him with the golden sword, a divine assurance of victory. Much like Joshua's encounter with the commander of the Lord's army, this vision filled Judas with confidence, reminding him that God's favor was upon him. Such moments are threaded throughout the books of Maccabees, showing that those who stand with God never stand alone. And in the 3rd book of Maccabees, God's protection transcends the battlefield, reaching Jewish communities in Egypt. Here, Ptolemy IV attempts to defile the temple, but God strikes him blind and paralyzed, thwarting his sacrilege. Enraged, Ptolemy plots to exterminate the Jews in Egypt, planning a public execution by trampling them with elephants. Yet, in the darkest hour, the people turned to prayer and fasting, And just as God parted the Red Sea, he intervened once more. When the elephants were released, they miraculously turned on Ptolemy's soldiers, preserving the Jewish lives. The third book of Maccabees thus reveals a God who is not bound by borders, who protects his people wherever they are. This theme, echoed in the visions of Daniel, affirms that kingdoms may rise and fall, but God's reign is eternal. No earthly power, no empire or ruler, can stand against the divine will. So, if this journey through hidden texts has inspired you, share this video with others who seek deeper biblical understanding. And don't forget to check out our other explorations into the lesser-known books of the Bible for more stories that reveal ancient wisdom, inviting you to see these texts in a new light.